Joshua Williamson, Dennis Culver, Brandon Peterson, Andre Bresson, and Tom Denerick adventure out into the multiverse as Avery Ho is recruited to Justice League Incarnate to help rescue Barry Allen and stop Darkseid from taking the deadly power that lies beyond the multiverse. Joshua Williamson continues the really fun story he set up in Infinite Frontier, setting up a new multiversal Justice League to combat Darkseid and the myriad of things threatening the entire multiverse. I really enjoyed this, picked up pretty much where the final issue of Infinite Frontier left off, quickly reiterating that story if some forgot about it, and what the team is going to be doing over the course of this book before getting right into the action. Williamson also introduced us to Dr. Multiverse, a new character from Earth 8 who will be instrumental in finding Darkseid and helping defeat him. I liked the first appearance of this character very much, but looking forward to getting to know her a little bit more, since this issue didn't really have much breathing room to lay down her backstory, only briefly touching on it. It was also a lot of fun for the book to explore the sort of stuff they did in Infinite Frontier, where many of the multiverse Earths actually hate being part of the multiverse. In this case, Earth 8, which just hates the fact that it's part of the multiverse, and on top of that, isn't the actual Earth that is like the Prime Earth, since we know what the Prime Earth is, so they hate not being sort of the center of attention, if you will, and I kind of find that interesting, and I'm hoping that Williamson continues exploring that as we explore the different worlds of the multiverse and how they each view their position in the multiverse. Dennis Culver, Brandon Peterson, Andre Bresson, and Tom Denerick all pitch in on artwork, and like Infinite Frontier, each takes a piece of the multiverse as their own, so Earth 8 has a different style from the House of Heroes and so on. I loved all of the action and fast-paced adventure they brought to the book, as well as the introduction of THANOS, the Earth 8 version of THANOS. It was just a lot of fun to see battling Darkseid and saying stuff that we've seen Thanos say in like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, like I am inevitable and all that sort of stuff. It was just really tons of fun. Justice League Incarnate Issue 1 was a great fast-paced, action-packed continuation of the multiversal story set up in Infinite Frontier, adding in some new exciting characters and setting up the book's plot really well. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Justice League Incarnate Issue 1 heads to Earth 8, where the Retaliators tell their leader American Crusader to chill out and have some tea with them. The team know that this is all about Machine Head, and Crusader knows that he's been gone far too long and is beginning to worry him. A voice says that they found Machine Head as Dr. Multiverse appears, holding the head of the being. She says her multivision saw his body vibrating between worlds and she was able to sync up with him and recover his body. She knows that ever since being hit by those strange energies in space, she can see the multiverse and their place in it, and now she can see the multiverse is sick. American Crusader is glad since the multiverse has done nothing but damage their world, demanding the woman leave. She wonders how they can ignore the giant flash of light behind her, knowing it's a beacon of THANOS and his eternity conquest. The villain and his forces arrive on the Earth, prompting the Retaliators into combat as on Earth Zero, Avery Ho saves a group of people from Replicant, who is trying to destabilize the Chinese banks so they can now rely on cryptocurrency. Avery intends on stopping him before he kills someone, but the villain reveals that he's upgraded his power set with Multiplex, multiplying himself. As Avery battles the villain, Flashpoint Batman and Earth 23's Superman watch on, but Thomas isn't impressed with the woman's skills. Calvin tells him to keep watching, knowing that they can't do this without a Flash, and Thomas needs to trust him. Avery finishes up the villains with little trouble, confronted by Superman and Batman, who she knows don't look like the ones she knows. The heroes reveal they're from other Earths and need her help, and upon seeing a boom tube, Avery is more than happy to help, as Calvin reveals that she'll be aiding them in rescuing Barry Allen and the multiverse. The group head to the House of Heroes, where Aquawoman, Captain Carrot, Thunderer, and Mary Marvel welcome her to the Justice League Incarnate. Mary reveals that Darkseid made Barry run so fast that he cracked the multiverse and was sucked inside, so the villain could steal what dark unknown power lives on the other side, and they can't find the crack, at least not without Avery. Avery is confused, so Dinocop tells her to pay attention, telling her that there is a multiverse problem, which means it's the Justice League Incarnate problem. He says that they are to rescue Barry Barry from whatever is beyond the multiverse and then stop Darkseid and his family from getting their hands on unimaginable power by sealing the crack. Dinocop knows that it's not going to be easy since the House of Heroes is anchored in a fixed point in the bleed, and from there they can go anywhere they want in the multiverse. But the crack's location is unstable and they don't know where it is in the multiverse, and this is where Avery comes into the plan. Avery thinks that they got the wrong Flash, since she really has no experience in all of this, but Calvin reveals that Barry chose her as his replacement on the team if anything were to happen to him. Avery agrees to try and help, wishing they wouldn't call her Flash though, since she's not. Calvin shows her the quantum treadmill, which using Avery's speed can narrow down the possible locations of the crack and allow Harbinger to pinpoint the exact location to transport the team to with Avery. Avery gets to running on the treadmill, focusing on Barry Allen, while the rest of the team monitor the vibrations, soon finding the search field is narrowing, when suddenly the team is transported to Earth 8, which they find in ruins. The team recognize this as Machine Head's world, as Silver Eagle tells them that this is their fault as he tends to the now dead American Crusader. He tells them that they can keep their multiverse since their world is under attack because of it and Machine Head is dead because of them. Captain Carrot says that he was their friend as well and he betrayed them as Thomas tries to aid Crusader, but Silver Eagle blasts the man back, saying that he's dead now thanks to them. Silver Eagle reveals that Machine Head made a deal with someone in a golden mask to protect their world and it messed it up. Calvin knows that he means Psycho Pirate and he was being controlled by Darkseid, meaning the Eagle was lied to. Suddenly, Wonder Djinn is thrown into the group as Tartarus rips the behemoth in half, knowing all of their allies will soon fall before him. Eagle knows that his world is doomed thanks to their precious multiverse as Tartarus unleashes his power, knowing what lies beyond the multiverse calls out to him. Dr. Multiverse attacks the villain, but he easily grabs her, knowing what she really is, as the Justice League Incarnate battle their way through the villain's minions. As Tartarus tells Dr. Multiverse that she is a desperate voice lost in the infinite possibilities of her own potential, Darkseid appears through a boom tube, saying that hope isn't required, only Darkseid is. Tartarus drops Dr. Multiverse to confront the being, knowing all about Darkseid, wondering what could break their treaty barring him from their universe. Darkseid knows that Tartarus speaks of a lesser Darkseid, a mere piece of his godhead that has long been reabsorbed. He demands the Titans surrender his hold on the crack in the multiverse since he cannot comprehend it. Tartarus knows that the villain boasts don't sway him and finally he'll have more power to be his equal. Darkseid finds the being ignorant since the great darkness beyond the multiverse is beyond Tartarus's feeble obsessions. Dr. Multiverse can feel all of the evil of the multiverse that has been consolidated into one point of focus as Tartarus wonders if perhaps they could work together. Darkseid fires his Omega beams at the villains, finding him tedious, but the beams don't kill him, with Tartarus revealing that his armor was forged from the metal ore of the 8 rings of the ancient spectrum, and now the multiverse will know who is stronger. As the Titans duke it out, Darkseid's grandfather box tries to kill Dr. Multiverse, but Superman saves her, and upon looking at Superman, Dr. Multiverse sees all the different versions of the Man of Steel, knowing that they are like dozens of stars piercing through the veil. The grandfather box returns for another attack, saying that their presence isn't required, as Batman knows that they need to stop Darkseid quickly as Tartarus continues his assault on the god. The team hide from the scouting grandfather box as Avery thinks that they don't have enough power to stop either Darkseid or Tartarus. Captain Carrot thinks that they should hide out and let them kill each other, and Dr. Multiverse thinks that's probably a good idea, knowing that she can harmonize their vibrations and use Avery's speed to unanchor the crack from Earth 8 and send it to another world. Avery doesn't know if she can do that as Superman and Carrot race off to keep the grandfather box busy as Dr. Multiverse says that she'll create a quantum field around the crack and sync it up with Avery's speed vibrations, and together their powers should be enough to destabilize the crack in the multiverse. Darkseid meanwhile manages to strangle Tartarus, telling him that he is an echo of a whisper of his weakest moment, and he would never fall to him. Darkseid kills Tartarus as Dr. Multiverse blasts the crack, sealing it shut with Avery's help. With the crack lost, Darkseid tells the heroes that they are only delaying the unavoidable, taking his leave through a boom tube to follow the crack, seeing as that his Apocalypton tech can already track it, and he'll be there long before the heroes are. Dr. Multiverse tries to stop him, but the villain disappears before she can blast him. She wants to follow after the villain, but Batman knows they have no idea where the portal leads to. Carrot wants to help Earth 8, but Silver Eagle tells the heroes he'll clean up their mess yet again. He says that Machine Head spoke highly of Superman and he was the smartest person the being knew, but Machine Head knew that he had to put their worlds first, and they can't save everyone since it's impossible. Superman disagrees as the team head through the portal. Avery stops though, knowing that she isn't ready for this since only a few years ago she was just some kid in Central City, and now she's rushing off on multiversal adventures and she's terrified, and if a hero like Barry Allen couldn't handle this, what hope does she have? Dr. Multiverse says that she's scared as well, and Earth 8 is her world, but they reject her because she reminds them of how small they are in the grand scheme of things. She says that when she looked at the League, she sees infinite futures, and it's a future she wants to help. She says that when she looks at Avery as well, she sees the energy that creates worlds, and a real Flash and a real hero, wanting Avery to join her to save the multiverse. Avery takes her hand and they disappear through the portal, as back at the House of Heroes, Dino Cop loses the team's signal, finding it reckless that they even thought about confronting Darkseid. Aquawoman wants to lead a party to follow after them, when suddenly the house is rocked by a boom tube opening. The team are soon met by Orion, son of Darkseid, who knows that he's the only one who can defeat Darkseid. Orion says that he's taking command of Justice League Incarnate and the House of Heroes, since the only way to save the multiverse is to make it bleed. Mary Marvel knows that's all well and good, but notes Orion was followed as Calabac, Grail, and an army of parademons file through the boom tube to attack them.